So our subject is Geographic Information Systems. In module 1, we will be studying the basic concepts of GIS. So we will be studying history of GIS, components of GIS, geospatial data, attribute data, GIS operations, applications of GIS, and some popular GIS softwares. So now, what is GIS? As we all know, GIS means Geographic Information System. So Geographic Information System. So see, it is this GIS. It consists of two distinct disciplines, two vast areas, two vast area of science, namely geography and information. Okay, so two broad area of sciences, they are geography and information system, and these two broad areas collaborate together. They becomes interdisciplinary for betterment of the society, for better applications. There comes the geographic information systems. Okay, now let us see what is geography and what is information system. Because this GIS means it is an interdisciplinary of geography and information system. So first of all, let us see what is geography. Okay, so here you can see just the two broad areas of GIS. Okay, geography and information system. So geography means it is the study of places and the relationships between people and their environments. Okay, so you all know, you all have studied geography. So we study about the environment, about a place, its environment, its flora, fauna, people, etc. And what is the relationship between them. Okay, that is geography. So by studying the environment, you will be able to understand the landscape, what are the natural resources available there, what is the culture of the people in that society, etc. So that is the importance of geography. You can understand the locally available resources. That is the major important thing. Okay, now what is information system? So information system is a formal, socio-technical, organizational system designed to collect, process, store and distribute information. Now what do you mean by information? See, now this is information about the geography, right? So whatever you absorb from the surface, from the earth's surface, from the environment, all are information. So all these information can be collected, they can be stored and processed, and you can distribute the information as per your requirements for further processing, for further applications. A simple application is we use Google Maps. We use Google Maps to find the locations. So that is a simple application of GIS. Okay, so information from the particular area, information is collected and processed, it is modeled and it is distributed as per our requirements. Now, so GIS is a combination of two large disciplines, geography and information system, and together it forms an interdisciplinary area called geographical information system. Now, see, now I told you these are the two broad areas. Now we have three terms in this, right? We have three terms. One is geographic information and system. You cannot say it as geography information system. No, it is not geography information system. It is geographic information system. See, there is a difference between geography and geographic. Okay, geography is different, geographic means that is different. So why it is geographic? So geographic means, see, I have written here not geography but geographic. So geographic means assigning geographic coordinates to any object which is present on the surface of Earth. So you know every point on the surface of the Earth, we define those points in terms of latitudes and longitudes. Okay, so these latitude, longitude on the surface of the Earth, we call it as geographic coordinates, not geography, geographic coordinates. Okay, so you assign the spatial coordinates, you assign geographical coordinates to mention a particular point on the surface of the Earth. So that is why it is called geographic. So geographic is the scientific study of geospatial pattern. The coordinates, the geographic coordinates, that is geospatial pattern and processes. It seeks to identify and account for the location and distribution of human and physical phenomena on Earth. Okay, so it helps us to determine, to account the location and the distribution of human and physical phenomena. So what is human phenomena? An example you can take the road traffic. That is because of the human activities. The road is getting blocked. The traffic is intense. All because of human activities. So the distribution of human and physical phenomena on Earth's surface. Or you can say environmental phenomena on the Earth's surface. So all these things you plot, you assign as geographic coordinates. That is why the term geographic is given for G in GIS. So geographic, you remember, it is geographic, not geography. So another example is earthquake. So you all know earthquake is very familiar term for you. What is called epicenter? See, we have two terms to represent how where the earthquake occurs. One is a focus and the other one is epicenter. What do you mean by focus? Focus is the point below the surface of the earth where the earthquake starts, where the breakage of the earth's crust starts. It is deep below the surface of the earth. Earthquake epicenter means the point above the focus on the surface of the earth, that is called epicenter. So locating the earthquake epicenter. So in order to locate the earthquake epicenter, you can use the geographic information system. See, for example, how this information is helpful for you to locating the epicenter. See, for example, if an earthquake is occurring here, this is the focus of occurrence of an earthquake. So this is the Earth's surface, right? Surface of Earth. So this point, that is the point above the focus on the surface of the Earth, we call it as epicenter. So now, see how you call this as epicenter and how can you determine the focus? We absorb the patterns. See, we absorb the patterns of earthquake in terms of accelerograms. So these accelerograms observes the acceleration, ground acceleration. These accelerograms absorbs the ground acceleration using accelerometers. So you will be placing this on various points. Sometimes one accelerometer may be placed like this, one accelerometer may be placed like this. So you will be measuring the time. You will be measuring the time. At what time the surface waves has reached this point? At what time the surface waves has reached this point? Then at this point, then you will you will draw a circle or you will draw a triangle, and you will draw lines where all these points meet each other. So that is called epicenter and focus. Okay, so in that way, your this GIS can help you in locating the earthquake epicenter. Now, next term, the second term in GIS is information. So what is information? It's nothing but knowledge or facts. Again, you can take the same example as earthquake. So whatever knowledge or whatever the facts you observe in the environment, you collect it. So that is your information. And system. Third term is system. After collecting the information or data, what you do? So system, first of all, what is a system? It is a set of ideas or rules for organizing something or a particular way of doing something. So system means some procedure, right? Some procedure, some rules, some formula or some ideas, or some system what you have developed. For example, see, I need to rank your class. We have some 17 students in our class. I want to rank all the 17 students from 1 to 17. So what will I do? I will give you some assignments. I will give you some examinations, then value it. Then depending upon the marks, then how much attendance you have. So based on all these things, we will be we will be concluding we will be organizing the students from 1 to 17. So that is called a system, some procedure. Okay, so system, again, see, for every problem or for every activity, you can develop your own systems. So here also another example is earthquake epicenter location. See, there are different ways of locating the epicenter. What I have told you is one way, right? So you can develop your own system. You can take a particular area. You want to analyze or you want to understand or you want to criticize a particular thing in that particular area. So you can develop your own system. Sometimes you need to find the availability of natural resources in that area. So you can develop a system based on the available information. Okay, that is called a system. So now, again, I am taking the same example, that is earthquake epicenter location. So what we do is information on earthquake epicenters. We take the epicenters of different earthquakes, information from the epicenters of different earthquakes. Then we plot these information on maps. Okay. If we take India, you can collect the information of different earthquakes, its epicenters, focus, etc. Then you can plot these information on India map. So what you see, we will see some specific patterns. So once you observe certain patterns or you see something on the map, we raise some questions. Why? Why such pattern? Why in these places? Why the pattern is like this? How can this be improved? How can we predict some future earthquakes, etc.? So we raise the questions. So for these questions, based on the patterns, based on the information, we analyze and model for solutions, for getting solutions. Okay, so for that we develop systems. So these and models developed are called systems. So GIS is nothing but a geographic information system. Okay, now the common geographical systems. So we have RS, that is remote sensing, a geographic information system, and global positioning systems. These are the common geographical systems which we have. So we are studying only GIS, geographic information system. And the things that are common for these systems are, they are spatial coordinates. They are based on spatial coordinates. Spatial, they are generic, and they are digital. Okay. So now let us define GIS. Okay, what is GIS? Let us ask the question, what is GIS? So this is a system, right? So it is a computer-based information system. So we can define GIS as a computer-based information system which is designed to accept large volume of spatial data and allow us to input, store, retrieve, manipulate, analyze, model and retrieve. Okay, here also we have retrieve. So model and retrieve information as per user defined specifications in order to support decision making for planning and management of land use, natural resources, environment, transportation, urban facilities and other administrative records. See, these are the applications of GIS, that is management of land use, natural resources, environment, transportation, urban facilities, then administrative records, etc. These are the applications of some of a few applications of GIS. Okay. So what are the things needed? See, we have a portion called introduction to GIS softwares, right? So when we need to practice GIS, the things needed are input. So we need information. We need to know how to store the data, how to retrieve the data, how to manipulate the data, analyze it, model and retrieve the information. If these things are known for you, you will be able to develop a system. Okay, now, so GIS, see, these are the different functions of GIS: input, store, retrieve, manipulate, analyze and model. And we use these functions for decision making. Decision making means to finding some solutions. If there is a problem, when there is a problem, or you can expect a problem, or you smell something, you have to take a decision. Okay. So for that may be that decision making or that modeling can be for the purpose of land use, natural resources, environment, transportation, urban facilities or administrative records or and many more. So that's all. Okay. So our ultimate aim of geographical information system is to model, and model means to predict something. So example is soil erosion in a watershed. So in watershed, there will be a lot of soil erosions. So particularly in Kerala during rainy seasons, this soil erosion is a great problem. So you can use GIS for solving this, for predicting this soil erosion. Thereby, you can predict the landslides. See, one important research area which the government focuses, Kerala government is focusing, it is ready to investors to predict the landslide. Okay, predicting the landslide. Please go through it. What is landslide? What are the properties you can study? Because you are studying geotechnical engineering also. And how can you apply GIS to predict the landslide? See, if anybody is interested in this, you can do it individually or you can do it as a group. So if you are interested, just an idea തരുവാണ്. So this is one of the most important research area. If somebody is interested on this, really interested on this, you can in your higher semesters, you have seminars, mini project, major project, presentations, etc. So for all these things, you can use this. You can use GIS to predict the landslide. That may be a very good project for you if you are really interested. So that is all for today. Thank you.